Good morning, and welcome to Redeemer Lutheran Church in Columbia, South Carolina. We're part of the ELCA. I'm Pastor Gary Lodeholt. This week, our theme is Crossed Hands, and I am representing a Lenten series I preached in 2008, in which I embodied some of those involved in the events of Holy Week and Jesus' death, and tied them together through the role their hands played. Today, our focus is on Nicodemus. Touched him. And what I remember most about it now was how cold he felt. He had been a man so full of warmth and fire, his eyes so full of compassion and joy, and it seemed so strange and wrong somehow for him to feel so cold, so dead. I remember so vividly the first time we met. We had all heard the stories of this man from Nazareth who worked miracles and who spoke as if his words came directly from God. At least that's what everyone said. Those of us in the Sanhedrin had never heard him, and since we were the religious leaders of the nation, we were somewhat skeptical. We worried about what kinds of things he was filling the people's heads with, or worse, we worried that he was just a charlatan, out for what he could get for himself. And then he came to Jerusalem. We listened and we watched, and many dismissed him right away. But I couldn't do that so easily. When I heard him speak, his words did have the ring of truth to them, and it seemed for all the world to be God's truth. When he moved among the people, he seemed so sincere and real, and I couldn't help but see how he loved them. I didn't know what to make of all this. I had been ready to condemn him, but the more I heard and the more I saw, the more well, the more I wasn't so sure. And so I came to him at night. I pretended to myself that I went at night because I had a busy day. But I also knew that by going at night, I could meet with him and no one else on the Sanhedrin would see me or know that I had done this. I went to him, and together on the rooftop of the house we talked, me, the educated official rabbi, and him, the carpenter from Nazareth. We spoke of God and faith, and I was amazed at his perception and his understanding. Often he took me beyond ideas I had ever considered before, challenging me to grow. Some things he said confused me, like his words about being born again. And other times he spoke words I'll never forget. For God so loved the world, he said, that he sent his only Son so that whoever believes in him may not die, but have eternal life. God so loved the world. I liked the God he described. No, the God he seemed to know. When I left late that night, I had much to think about. One thing I was sure of, however, was that he was a good man, and his motives were pure. And then about 2 years later, a messenger came to my door in the middle of the night, summoning me to an emergency meeting of the Sanhedrin. I didn't know what to make of that. Our rules expressly forbid any official meeting at night. And when I got there, my heart turned to stone. For there, standing in the middle of the chamber, was Caiaphas, the high priest, and next to him, bound with ropes, was the carpenter. I didn't know what to do, so I did nothing. I listened as Caiaphas accused him, acting like some crazed maniac, searching for some way, some opening to condemn him. There were witnesses, but their stories didn't hold up. And finally, Caiaphas turned to the carpenter himself. He raised his hands and shouted, "Enough of this!" And the whole place grew quiet. "There is really only one issue here," Caiaphas said to him. "Answer me under oath to the supreme God of Israel, and tell us, are you the Son of God, as you have claimed?" The carpenter had been silent through everything, but at this he raised his head and looked at Caiaphas directly. "I am," he answered, and the whole place broke into bedlam, except for me. I just sat there, unable to move. For when he spoke, I heard in my mind and heart Moses asking God at the burning bush, "And what shall I tell the people your name is?" And God had answered, "Tell them, I am." "Are you the Son of God?" the carpenter had been asked. "I am," he had answered, claiming God's very name as his own. My heart pounded in my chest. There was nothing I could do. Everything had been set in motion, and nothing could stop it. I watched as he was beaten and mocked. I watched him as he was crucified. I watched him while he died. Then, with my friend Joseph, we asked the governor for his body, took him down from the cross, and prepared his body for burial. The tears I shed were more for me than for him. As I touched his cold body, I knew what I had lost. Now that I wanted to know him more, that opportunity was gone. As we carried him to his tomb, I wished over and over that I could have found a way to save him. But then, on the way home, it suddenly dawned on me. He didn't want me to save him. He wanted to save me. I touched him, but more importantly, he touched me. Thanks for sharing these moments with me, and remember to let this day belong to God.